Oh, really? That's cool. I would appreciate that. Just get some big Fortnite streamer. So, relevant. I don't know anything about Fortnite, but I do know that Ninja is like, you know, the biggest Fortnite streamer and probably like the biggest streamer on Twitch right now. He actually lives 5 minutes from me. And his brother was one of my substitute teachers in high school. Like, literally, my friend, like, saw Ninja at our local Little Caesars the other day. Just random guy from our tiny little suburb of Chicago. Get Ninja to host me? Oh yeah, I have literally never met the guy. MS Paint. God. Easy host. Oh yeah, for sure. But welcome to the game here. It will be DeathOnTwoLegs here as the blue Vietnamese in the west of the map versus our very own Project Belgium Bug'em PBJ here in the east of the map. But he will be the Malians, so Malians versus Vietnamese, not the greatest Civ matchup here for DeathOnTwoLegs. But looking at these players' maps here, the first thing that jumps out to me is look at this for death. Look at this here for death. Main gold in the back, secondary stone in the back, secondary gold in the back. Easy wall here, and you just wall at the front of your base. Yeah, your main stone's forward, but you have this stone, and you're pretty safe. Like, this is a pretty damn good map here for DeathOnTwoLegs, in my opinion. How's yours would react? What is this game? And also, Pete, it's, the way it's worded is that you just need to hit it once. So, I guess I can check after the stream. But regardless, taking a look... Oh, Belgium! Belgium, Belgium. This is, foreshadowing. This is some high-level foreshadowing for tomorrow's Alliance match. This dead villager trying to lure the boar. Oh, is he Skull? Oh, thank you, thank you. Oh, okay, okay. Stream cheating? Lol. I was not meant to see that. Oh, I see it. I sees it. You can't hide it from me. But yeah, that's going to be a bit of a problem here for Belgium. Wait, he's down... I guess he had a lot of idle time as well, because he's down like a villager and a half, essentially, in terms of TC idle time, you could say. So that's really not the greatest start for him. His map, however, is decent. Looks like he's going to be like walling over here towards his wood line, which is fairly reasonable. And then, you know, just kind of like wall over here. Yeah, it's a little, you know, a little extensive walling that you have to do, but it's not, you know, undoable by any stretch of the imagination, and you will have your main stone and your secondary gold quite safe because of it. So I'd say, overall, not a bad map for Belgium, though I do have to give the map edge to Skull, it was? Yeah, Skull. So, yeah, Skull, just because Skull's map is really good. But talking about the Civ matchup here, this one I think is pretty rough for the Vietnamese. Because, yeah, you got your great archers and stuff, but Malians... 2 really solid eco bonuses. Like, neither of the Malian eco bonuses are top tier of the discount on your buildings, 15%, and then the free gold mining upgrade. Like, neither are, like, the best eco bonuses ever, but together, the fact that they get both of them, it's so good for their early game economy. Really helps out their archer rush, as obviously wood and gold are the resources you need for that. And, you know, late game, Champ Scarls are going to do really well against the Vietnamese archers. You know, 8 Pierce Armor, I believe, for fully upgraded Malian champions. They're not going to care about rattan archers or arbalests. And then also Malians have very good monks to deal with any potential elephant threats. And the Malians are just obviously such a faster civ. Project _ thank you for the follow. Is that Belgium Smurf? Is it Project Belgium without the Belgium? Someone on Nilly Stream said it was Skull. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem versus Ellie's, but you still have block printing, you still have theocracy, and those are more important. And yeah, like, you don't have halbs, but you do have a lot of, good, what's it called? Infantry. A lot of good infantry options. There we go. There's English, my native language, theoretically. Belgium, a little bit of mismicro here, honestly. Getting all of his units killed there. 1 unit killed, 4 units lost for him. Still, like, Belgium lost all 3 militia, and then Skull lost 1 militia. Not a great trade. I mean, yeah, Uncle Chip's like, the Chinese, like, if this was, you know, purely historically accurate, they'd be getting every single upgrade in the game. And also have, like, a 400 pop limit. Perfectly even advance times, as both players did end up going for the Drush. And that is definitely something I would say is atypical in this meta. We usually see the quick feudal age, whether it be for fast men-at-arms, fast scouts and towers, or whatever. Zaliwero, thank you so much for the follow as well. But yeah, look at this walling here for Skull. Going to be perfectly safe at home. And yes, he doesn't get an eco bonus, but he should be able to get to the castle age no problem. Why is he saying shake hands? I have no idea. And definitely, again, worth noting here is that Belgium, despite him having a relatively easy wall off, he isn't walled off. I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue for him because a lot of these units are very low HP, but it may. But both players hitting feudal age, instantly an archery range being thrown down here for Belgium, as well as a blacksmith, definitely lends itself to a faster castle age. What do we see here for DeathOnTwoLegs, or Skull? A tower. There we go. This is interesting. So, both of these guys are going for stuff that is, I think, fairly odd. We see Skull going for the aggression with this forward tower onto the gold of Bugum, which he does not see coming. Sorry. And then we have Belgium going for 2 archery ranges. Okay, he does scout out this tower before it gets up, so he will at least have a little bit of time to start his own defensive tower. But like I was saying, going for archers against the Vietnamese seems kind of like a weird choice. Yes, the Malians, like I said earlier, have that extra wood and gold from their bonuses. But I still feel like, you know, against the Vietnamese, like, the Vietnamese are an anti-archer civilization. So if I were the Malians in this position, I'd probably just go for the knights. I think that's a bit of a safer play. That is a few dead villagers, though, for Belgium. He is now 4 villagers behind Skull. We'll take down this tower, though. So his gold will be safe in the end, but not really an ideal start here for Belgium. Both players are going to hit the castle age at about the same time. And it is blacksmith plus archery range here for Skull as well. But Belgium already has 2 ranges up, already able to produce 2 archers at the same time. He just can't right now because this tower is poking away at his gold mine. Eco upgrades also going to be at least a little bit faster for Belgium for whatever it's worth. But again, Belgium not walled is going to mean that his economy is just that much more susceptible to being raided. Like, crossbowmen could just wander over here. Well, now he's starting to wall, so maybe that will help a little bit. The military count is going to be fairly low for both players for the time being. Also, no second archery range for Skull means that he is going to most likely be going for some sort of boom. 2 villagers on stone definitely leads me to believe he's going to want to go for some extra town centers. If you wanted to go for the castle, it would be more villagers, and if you want to go for aggression, it would be 0. Also, hello, Yellow Label. Welcome to the stream. You think the tower was worth it? Cost him stone, forced him to tower elsewhere, wasted some villager time. Wait, freed up some... No, I think the tower was good. Like, I think it was an odd play for Skull, but I think it ended up working out. Like, you know, Belgium is now at a 4 villager deficit because of it. But obviously, crossbow coming in here for Belgium, but it's actually going to be Elite Skirmisher here for Skull, with Elite Skirmisher obviously on the way. Second TC for him as well. And I don't believe we have Belgium going on stone whatsoever. Maybe. Is this lady going to stone? Nope. Had to watch the World Cup game? I don't blame you. How did it end? I know Spain and Portugal were, like, really close. But also, Citizen X, thank you for the follow. Ornlu with 17? 170 bots. Exactly. Exactly, Trirem. All the bots. You know it. Oh, they're tied? Oh, that's cool. Like, as an American, I don't really know much about football. You know, global football, not American football. But I think the World Cup is always pretty fun to follow, just because you have, obviously, all the different countries. All that cool stuff. But yeah, gonna be skirmishers rolling out here for Skull. They do have 41 HP because they are Vietnamese, obviously. And we'll really see, I think, Skull start to pull ahead in the economy. Villagers going over here leads me to believe that he's going to throw down another TC over here once he can afford it. American calling it football. Yeah, man. I call it soccer everywhere else. Hi, football. Welcome back to the stream, Bogus. But right now, we do see such a numbers advantage here for Belgium that I really don't think these skirmishers can take the engagement. Wow. Feels good, Lone. But of course, we really do have to keep in mind that the longer this game goes on without a whole lot happening, the further and further ahead we'll see Skull pull ahead this game. There we go. Got there in the end. Third TC coming up for him, 10 villager lead for him. Looks like these units are going to pass, like, the proverbial ships in the night. And, well, obviously the skirmishers are going to be a whole lot worse at killing villagers than the crossbows, but we see that right now just a significantly better wall is in place for Skull. University coming up behind the palisade, but he's going to need something here. Just throw down a couple stone walls. This one hasn't been started yet, but it looks like it will be started in plenty of time. I mean, this is a lot of HP that these crossbowmen have to work through. I mean, I guess we'll have to... You can just ungarrison this town center and chop this wood over here. Gonna force Belgium to go over here. However, there are a few more tiles worth of palisade that Belgium has access to. But some nice quick walls. Well, I say that. Does Belgium realize? Belgium realizes that this is the weak one. Villager gonna try and come in here with the stable. Does Belgium recognize this? About 450 HP on the stable. I actually think Belgium can take this down fairly quickly, especially since everything else is, well, significantly more walled off. But no, we're actually going to see Belgium retreat for the time being, and I think that is a pretty big mistake from him. Also, the double university play. Research, treadmill, crane, and ballistics at the same time. So OP. But all jokes aside, 3 TCs here for Skull. 10 villagers ahead. Belgium only on the 1 TC right now. Is starting to take stones, so that's going to be pretty good. Also, is going to be flattening all of these skirmishers. Hey, Denzel. And I got a host. And also, I mean, I'm just such a charming guy. I'm such an entertaining caster. People just love watching me. Or something. Oh, but I better see a treadmill crane coming out of here. This is researching ballistics. I better see myself a treadmill crane, or even better, heated shot. For all the ships that are going to be built this game. Something racist? Hey, Raj. What the hell are you guys doing here? I thought you guys were in, at U of I. Belgium finally getting wheelbarrow, but still stuck on the 1 TC. Checking his resources right now. Not really a whole lot in the bank. I guess he can afford another castle. Or not castle, town center, once he gets the wood. But he's just so far behind in that economy. Might be best for him just to go for some like all-in play, like maybe like a castle drop or something. Why don't pro players research murder holes? Because murder holes is really expensive. Yes, it got a discount in the expansions, but it's still 200 food, 100 stone, and that's a pretty hefty price tag for something that is only going to rarely be useful. Oh, you're at ISU? Of things I want to do right now, going to Normal, Illinois, does not sound like one of them. You should come back to the fun areas. But we do see here that Belgium has a fairly significant army advantage. Just one range skirmisher production for Skull. I feel like this is perhaps a little bit, you know, not doing enough. But that's what he's going to be doing. Okay, now he's going with the castle. I was wondering when this would happen, and this may spell the end for Belgium in this situation. Because once rattan archers start coming out, they're going to trade so efficiently versus crossbowmen, and the castle will doubly help in defending against, you know, this castle age pressure from Belgium. And once we will see Skull stabilize, he's probably just going to instantly win the game because he's 16 villagers ahead. Increasing the minimum range. Interesting. I think he'll switch into Ellie's. I think that's not necessary, because rattan archers are... He has the upgrades for archers already, because of these skirmishers. So might as well just switch into rattan archers. I mean, yeah, Vietnamese aren't good, but... like... this is just a really good position here for Skull. Oh yeah, Vito, thank you for the follow as well. Well, Mangonel's working away at the stable. Probably going to need more than one villager repairing that. Switch back to Skull's POV. No food in the bank, so he's definitely miles away from the Imperial Age, but here are the rattan archers on the way. He still doesn't have Thumb Ring, but he has all of the other archer upgrades, so they're going to do pretty well. Just needs to get a bit more of them out. Just try and slow down this push from Belgium as much as possible. Belgium did get to a second and third TC, just getting the third one up right now. But his problem is that he's just so far behind already. 20 villagers behind at this point is a massive deal, and his military advantage hasn't really been worth all that much. He is breaking through at this point, going to try and wrap around this castle, but I don't think the Mangonels can get in without being killed by the castle. And there's one dead Mangonel already. Defensive Mangonel here for Skull will also force the crossbows back, and this is just not at all what Belgium wants to have happen in this game right now. So it looks like all of the forward units have been cleaned up, well, forced to retreat at the very least, for Skull. So things seem to be fairly quiet right now. Skirmisher is going to try and get the kill onto this Mangonel without dying at a very painful death. We'll engage these crossbows, and if not all die, at least they're not even going to die. And now with the rattan archers starting to become more numerous, now we even have a military lead for Skull for the first time this game, really. This is going to be pretty hard for Belgium to deal with. Skirmishers are going to be trading efficiently, killing most of the crossbowmen regardless, and then just had the Rattan archers going to come in from behind and kill all of the villagers so efficiently. I think Viper's idea to nerf towers of making them cost more wood was really interesting. But we obviously have to do something, but it's a matter of what exactly do you do so that defensive towers are still good, but then like offensive towers aren't as good. Belgium is also going to be the first person to click to the Imperial Age, though we will see Skull hot on his heels in that regard. Belgium also expanding to a 4th town center, so eventually he'll catch up with Skull. But the thing is, Skull is he's still at a 20 villager advantage. He's been on 3 TCs ever since hitting the Castle Age, essentially. He's not that much further behind in the Castle Age, and he's building an army composition that's just designed to kill what Belgium's doing. You see, it looks like a stable transition here from Belgium. They don't right now, Yellow Label, but it's something that the Viper proposed. Oh, wait, yes, they do cost wood. They cost 25 wood currently. Nice mangonel shot, though, from Belgium. Skull not really paying attention. Rattan's at very low HP. That was a huge mangonel shot, and that is terrible for Skull at this point. Because he just lost almost all of his aggressive capability. He's also been really slow to get these economic upgrades. Belgium catching up in the villager count. Belgium's gonna, he's trying to hang on. It might cost more wood in the next patch. Ooh, Trirem. Trirem spilling the beans a little bit. Viper coming in hot with the balance suggestions. If any of you did not know, Trirem is one of the developers of the game. Yeah, no worries, Yellow Label. No worries at all. Tons of stone being mined here for Belgium means that he will be able to get a defensive castle up at some point, but, well, actually, he can afford one right now. But he's definitely going to want to get that pretty soon, especially on this hill. This hill represents the front of his base, and an excellent staging point for Skull to attack him. It also contains one of his secondary golds and, all of his stables, so really the sort of position I think Belgium would want to defend. This is a good aggressive position for Belgium, but there is already a castle here. Does he know about it? Nope. He's going to learn about it, though, real soon. Real soon. And right now. So Belgium likely going to be not building the castle there. And I think building the castle here is going to end up being a lot safer. Who's my favorite YouTuber? I mean, there really aren't, like, how many AoE2 YouTubers are there that aren't just streamers, mostly? I mean, there's Spirit of the Law who doesn't stream, but everyone else who does YouTube content streams, I think. But if you're talking about, like, content creator, I mean, there's a lot of them I really like. I don't really have one favorite. I mean, I like most of them. Nilly, Zero Empires, T90. They're all great. Full castle? No, Belgium's in the Imperial Age. He is getting his villagers harassed by these elite Rattan archers, but he will be going for Cavalier with the Marimba. Just kidding, it's called Farimba upgrade. And those are, I think, going to be the best bet against Rattan archers if you're the Malians. Rattan archers, if you can see here, 8 pierce armor for them, 40 HP. They're not going to die very quickly whatsoever to any ranged attacks, but the very heavy melee damage of the Cavaliers with the Farimba upgrade will mean that they'll die quick. They'll die real quick. Yes, he is. He is gathering this neutral gold, which is pretty nice. But then you also have Skull in the north of the map gathering this neutral gold. So it's all good in the hood. Another castle coming in here for Belgium. Again, just really trying to defend the front of his base. This is where one of his main wood lines are, because he doesn't have that much wood in the back of his base. So, makes a lot of sense. Just everyone kind of getting their upgrades. It's been a fairly passive game, all things considered. Now we see an elephant transition here for Skull. Elephants plus Rattan archers is a really tricky combo to deal with. So we'll have to see how Belgium approaches that. He may want to do, like, Cavalier plus Heavy Camel. Malians having some of the best Heavy Camels in the game as well. Sounds like a pretty reasonable idea. But yeah, Trirem, the quote-unquote consultant, not technically affiliated with Forgotten Empires. When can we expect the next patch to drop? Is it going to be... Okay, you probably can't give specifics, but, like, will we be likely to see it before the main section of ECL starts? Or, like, before, you know, the tournament begins in earnest? That would be something I would be very interested to know. Pikes with high pierce armor? Yeah, but Rattans are still going to kill the pikemen very quickly, and pikemen just don't deal that well against elite battle elephants, because they don't deal enough bonus damage. Because the thing is, Rattan archers actually have a very high attack. They have 11 attack with all their upgrades. So, and I believe they deal 1 extra damage to infantry. Won't be before ECL start? Okay. So I guess it'll just be after one of the earlier rounds, would be my assumption at that point. Wait, this is the Malian tech tree. Why am I blind? There we go. Do they deal bonus damage against infantry? Nope, just spearmen. Ooh. Ooh. Spicy. Wait, we already know that ECL includes its own balance changes. At a minimum, it's the slinging nerf. Like, we already know that the balance changes to slinging that were done in... what's it called? Nations Cup are now going to be used in ECL, so that in itself is ECL doing its own balance changes, which I totally agree with in that particular instance, because I find slinging boring as all hell. But anything further would definitely be very interesting, and has not yet been announced. Also here we will see Bugum going for some additional barracks, making the infantry transition. Champ Scarls may deal well with the Rattan archers, but they're gonna die really hard to these battle elephants. More— oh! Trirem. With the spicy news hot off the press. This is why you guys gotta come to the Ornlu streams, man. Got all the juicy deets. Oh, I'm sure whatever nerf they do to towers will make towers still, like, an option, just not as oppressive as they are right now. Yeah, that's interesting. So, do you have, like, any sort of timeline as to when the ECL-specific balance changes will be announced? Also, as far as this game goes, guys, Belgium doing pikemen here to support his Cavalier.
Yes.
Fully upgraded Cavalier right now. Pikemen nearly fully upgraded. And now Imperial Skirmisher coming in for Skull as well. Plus 10 Pierce Armor! Welcome back, Grannis. GPN. I assume the game ended at that point then. But yeah, fully upgraded infantry and cavalry here for Belgium. Army counts are relatively even, though I think I would give the slight army quality advantage to Belgium at this point. Which is pretty good, because remember, Belgium was in a terrible position earlier on this game. Now he has 4 trebuchets working at this castle. I think it's a huge mistake of Skull that he didn't make anything to deal with trebs whatsoever. And with the Rattan archers and skirmishers in the front, the cavalry are just going to jump on them and absolutely mop up all of these units. Like, the archers were in the front and the elephants were in the back, and that's not how you want to take an engagement. Though it seems like the elephants are not dying. Houston, these elephants are not dying. Sometimes next week or the following week. Cool, cool. So, interesting fight there. It looked like it was going really well for Belgium to start, as he was easily able to deal with all of the Rattan archers, but these pikemen are just not being particularly useful at killing all of these elephants. And, like, that's the problem with the Malian infantry, is that their pikemen, without Blast Furnace, are not good at killing cavalry. They don't have the halberdier extra bonus damage. They only deal, I think, plus 24 damage instead of plus 32 or something. And then they're just weaker base attack. Like, normal fully upgraded halberdiers, I believe, deal... Well, there's 6 plus 4 damage, and then I think plus 32 against cavalry. And this is only 6 damage total, plus 24. So, yeah, that's kind of a bit of a problem here for Belgium. He's now getting Elite Gebetto, but this is looking to be a bit of a doubt castle right now. These trebuchets are way too far forward. Faremba pikes? Oh god. Plus 25? Oh. Yeah, you're right, Granis. Well, these are Elite Gebettos right now. I feel like Elite Gebettos are fairly terrible against rattan archers. But maybe they can do well against the elephants if they hit and run. But Belgium has to be incredibly careful with his micro here, because the second elephants close in on Gebetto, all the Gebetto are going to instantly evaporate. Okay. Another pause, I guess. Heals bad man. But regardless, these elite battle elephants aren't even fully upgraded. Both of these, I mean, these battle elephants are missing the last armor upgrade, and Vietnamese in general miss blast furnace. So, like, these elephants could be even better right now. Oh, he didn't delete the castle foundation? I honestly didn't even notice that, Alejandro. That is really rough for Bugum, especially since he is now going more heavily into his unique unit. You want every castle you can, which means getting every stone you can. Looks like these guys have traded gold mines also in each corner of the map, which is pretty funny. Also, worth mentioning here is that the relic account significantly favors Skull at this point. He has 4 relics to the 1 of Belgium. Belgium needs monks? Yep. 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 300 gold, though, without illumination. I mean, I think it's too late in the game for him to transition into monks. Like, think how many upgrades Belgium has gotten this game. He has gotten all of the infantry upgrades. He's gotten Elite Gebetto. Has gotten all the cavalry upgrades. Like, that's a lot of money spent on upgrades. Yeah, at the moment, there's nothing to stop the Ellie's. That is very right. And again, these elephants have not even reached their final form. They still haven't gotten the last armor upgrade. Oh, okay, resuming now. And just 39 military to 24 is a pretty massive differential. The one thing that's going for Belgium at this point is that elephants are so slow, especially Vietnamese elephants without husbandry. Mangonel could have gotten a big hit off, but didn't. And now all that, you know, Skull has to do at this point, just make some rattan archers in the back, and they should be able to deal with the Gebettos quite well. But right now, we actually see Skull on the retreat. Imperial Skirmishers should do alright as well. Monk's even trying to get in on the action, converting some Gebettos, but here comes Belgian. It's the Belgian connection. He's coming in hard. He does have a military and economic deficit right now. But it seems like Skull was a little slow to group up his army.
Yes. Yes.
Whoa. Okay. The elephant numbers are starting to plummet. There's only 5 elephants left right now. But there are plenty of Imperial Skirmishers out right now. But the thing is, Imperial Skirmishers aren't particularly great against Gebettos, because obviously Skirmishers are tanks in terms of pierce armor. Gebettos don't deal pierce damage, they deal melee damage since they throw their little tomahawk things. And wow, this Gebetto switch is working out really well for Belgium. Now sending in the Light Cav, fully upgraded Malian Light Cav, really terrifying to deal with, going to, you know, do relatively well versus both of the rattan archers and the skirmishers. And man, this Gebetto switch is really working out from Belgium. I didn't think the Gebettos would do that well, but it's just the micro-ability of these units against the very slow elephants meant that we really didn't see Skull able to take the engagement that he wanted. Like, in a straight-up brawl, there was no way that Belgium would ever kill the army of Skull, but the fact that Belgium got to choose the engagement he wanted to take was a pretty huge deal. Not taking into Arbs? I mean, why go for Arbs when you have rattan archers? Why did they not give them husbandry? I don't know, man. Ooh, but this is not what you want to be doing, Belgium. Do not throw your units into the meat grinder. Like I said, in a straight-up brawl, we will see the army of Skull way better than Belgium's. Belgium's army has the advantage that it's faster and is able to, you know, pick off units at a distance. Arbs better than Gebettos? I mean, Arbs have 8 more HP, but they deal 1 less damage, and the Rattans are good against any sort of ranged unit. Easier to spam than Arbs? I mean, I guess, but there's still 2 castles here, which is plenty for Rattan Archer production. They train very quickly. We actually have Light Cav and Pikemen on the way for Skull as well. Obviously, we're getting into the late game stage of a 1v1 Arabia game, so it's going to be Trash City all day, every day. And this is another time that's worth mentioning. 4 relics for Skull right now, only 1 for Belgium. Army count dead even right now, villager count almost dead even as well. Belgium has the hill right now, but that is a lot of elephants and rattan archers. Not sure if Belgium can fight this. And when I say I'm not sure, I'm pretty confident that he can't. But here he comes again, I guess. But you see these, like the Malian pikemen, it doesn't matter that they have 7 pierce armor. The rattans deal 6 damage to them per arrow, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, exactly. But here's the power of the Gebetto right now. The ability for the Gebettos to attack the elephants without the elephants able to attack them is really massive. And now that they're sitting at a straight-up fight, this is the engagement that Belgium really wants to take. He has the hill advantage with the Gebettos. Literally, these units are dying instantly, but the Rattan archers have to take time to shoot at them, which means that they're not shooting at the Gebettos, which are kind of like the big glass cannon in the back, dealing so much damage at range. That was an insanely good fight for Belgium. Military counts are, again, relatively even. But right now, Belgium has the advantage. He has the hill. This is a really good game. But again, there's a lot of ranged units here at the back for Skull. The elephant numbers are really dwindling, though. There's only like 3 left, 4 left at this point. I think that was the first time an elephant has hit a Gebetto this game. Belgium doing a really good job controlling these units. Trebuchet is way too far forward, though. But again, this supporting Light Cav plus Pikemen is just giving the meat shield that Belgium needs for these Gebettos to get their damage in. Except they don't have that right now, because the cavalry are kind of bugging out a little bit. A little bit unnecessary there for Belgium, but also, like, we have to remember, Malian have insanely good Light Cav, 7+7 attack. Better than generic Hussars, almost every situation. And yeah, wow. Now we really start to see Skull losing a ton of army. Oh, in the north of the map, it's just been fighting over one of the neutral golds. Currently, Skull is in control of it, but it's changed like 5 times this game. Both players have mined a fair amount from it. Belgium now getting guilds and architecture, because Belgium has heard me ramble on about how great the building armor upgrades are if you're going for your unique unit and you really care about your castles. So that's all good stuff. Ironically, Vietnamese get neither of those upgrades. Hussars still kill Malian Light Cav? No, they don't. Now we even have a mining camp coming in here. There's not that much gold left here, but, you know, anything you can get at this point in the game. Belgium has plenty of gold in the bank, but, you know, every bit of gold counts at this point. Belgium also getting Tigui. He's just getting all the upgrades. Now we have 3 trebuchets of Belgium working down these castles of Skull, which would be no more Rattan Archer production for him. And now it just seems like pure trash coming out here for Skull, and just Vietnamese do not have great trash, which is like beyond their Imperial Skirmisher. Like, Imperial Skirmishers are great. They're a fantastic trash unit. But they're light cav, they don't have Hussar, they don't have Blast Furnace. They're Halberdier, missing Blast Furnace as well. Again, like, these Geppettos are dealing so much damage from the back line. Now we even have Onagers coming in for PBJ, and those are going to do really well against all these units. And I think Belgium just needs to make sure he keeps up the light cav production. I don't think the pikemen are going to be as useful as a meat shield. I mean, it's just a unit he can make from his production facilities, which is why he's doing that, making them. But obviously the light cav are going to be way more impactful as a unit, both in terms of fighting and raiding. Gold in the north finally running out. There are a few units here for Skull to start raiding Belgium's base, and he has absolutely nothing to defend. Belgium has now taken the score lead for the first time in like an hour, almost. And if he wins this game, this would be a massive turnaround for him. Halbs are starting to come out here for Skull, though, and Halbs of any kind are going to kill light cav of any kind really easily. Bombard Cannon now coming in for Skull as well. Can it be sniped by the Geppetto? Will it kill at least one Bombard Cannon? I guess 3 Geppettos because of the castle. And Bombard Cannons are so good at killing Trebuchets because they can hit and run, essentially. There's the Trebuchets. The Trebuchets are rather sedentary. Light cav trying to snipe these Onagers, but not successful in that endeavor. The Onagers aren't getting a ton of value, but I think it's a matter of like momentum right now. Age of Empires is an incredibly momentum-based game, and yes, the military counts are fairly even, but the positioning is heavily in favor of Belgium. He has this front area that he can attack, you know, all sides of Skull's base, and Skull is not able to sort of group up his entire army to face the entire army of Belgium, who is able to do that. Belgium's not even building a castle on the front lines here. There aren't that many villagers here, so this may be a bit risky, but see how it works out for him. Onagers still alive here for Belgium, as is one Trebuchet. Belgium's going for it, man. He's doing really well. Got you know, Imperial Skirmishers dying the second they leave the archery range. Castle is now completed for Belgium. The thing is, though, Belgium is starting to run low on gold at this point. Again, 1 relic compared to the 4. But also, there's this neutral stone in the middle of the map that Belgium, at a minimum, can sell for plenty of gold, which is going to be pretty good for him. I think he'll be fine on the gold count for the time being. Now we also have to consider wood at this point. It's a very long game, and this is really the only effective wood line, I think, for Skull. Yeah, it's the only wood line of Skull, and it is being so heavily raided by Belgium that, yeah, you know, all of these units cost wood. Skirms and Halbs both cost wood. The Rattan Archers cost wood. Any defensive siege weapons cost wood. And right now, he lost his TC, all of these villagers are dead, and this may be the nail in the coffin for Skull this game. Yeah, Belgium totally overrunning Skull right now. Skull just losing so many villagers. He lost maybe 30 villagers at this point, losing more. Random Halbs killing 1 villager in the south of the map, because why not? Also looks like Belgium was able to fend off Skull in his attack over here. Skull actually does have another TC in the far north of the map, where he can gather some amount of wood, but there just aren't that many villagers there. And all of these production facilities are being camped by the army of Belgium, and Geppettos, being infantry units, do take down buildings quite quickly. No, Malians do not get siege ram. Light cav now in the base of Skull, killing all of these poor farmers. But yeah, I just don't really know how Skull can come back in this game. He is down to 118 population. He has lost about 70 villagers over the course of the last 3 or 4 minutes. And yes, he still has a numerically large army, but it's just not in a good position whatsoever to actually do anything. Yes, they do have Siege Onager, but no Siege Engineers, and also Siege Onager is way too expensive for Belgium at this point. He'd rather have, like, you know, another 40 Gebettos. Pikemen now starting to poke down the TC. Yeah, exactly. All of these production facilities are being taken down by Belgium, though he is starting to lose his castle right now. There aren't any villagers nearby to repair it. Just one trebuchet. Okay, looks like these Gebettos are going to go in for the Treb snipe here. Belgium probably doesn't want to lose that castle. I mean, it's a really good, you know, it helps with this whole pressure, you know, this whole area that Belgium has been controlling for so long that has just really split up the army of Skull. Yeah, kind of, Peter. I mean, Malians are already, like, one of the most OP civilizations in general. Just a few units here and there. Looks like we do see Skull starting to stabilize in the north of the map here. But again, Age of Empires is a game of momentum, and that is very heavily in favor of Belgium right now. Nice hitting and running, though, is Skull at this point, but he is now having his own castle being worked down by this trebuchet. And the thing is, for Skull, he has no stone in the bank. He has to constantly be buying stone, which at this point in the game is so expensive. Gebetto sniping more villagers gathering wood. Just constant raiding here by Belgium. And again, Skull actually has a positive kill-death ratio this game, which is pretty crazy, all things considered. That just goes to show the amount of just random units that Belgium has been throwing into the meat grinder of his opponent, while keeping the gold-intensive Gebettos alive for at least most of the game. Right now, most of these units on both sides will probably end up killing each other, which obviously is going to favor Belgium as he has a significantly better economy. This looks like it could potentially be a doubt castle, though. And Belgium's population has dropped like a fly. Hello. Belgium also lost a bunch of villagers somehow. Populations are now even. Hello. Okay, Belgium did, I think, cancel the castle. And this castle is going to be preserved here for Skull. Looks like Light Cav are just running into Halbs right now. Belgium just lost all of his army there, it seems. More and more Ratans coming out. Again, still 2 castles alive for Skull at this point. This trebuchet is going to die to these Rattan archers. Castle's just obviously super slow at killing them. And it's just Belgium trying to throw in as many units into the meat grinder as possible, trying to maintain that sort of momentum that he's had for so long. Look at this TC. 13 villagers queued up. That is insane. Like, all of these villagers just instantly going into the woodline here, and Skull saying he feels like he can't beat that, so he's going to call the GG. But wow, that was a really, really good game. Well played from Belgium. He was at such a bad spot in, like, the Castle Age that, yeah, all hail King PBJ there. But yeah, just really right unit compositions and taking the sort of engagements that he needed. So yeah, definitely going to put that one on YouTube if you wanted to catch any of it. The king is here. Yeah, really nice job there, Belgium. You were in such a bad spot, but the Gebetto switch was really good. I didn't think it would be that effective, but you just were able to constantly poke away at the elephants and get just so much mileage out of them. This food difference is absolutely massive, around 11,000 in favor of Belgium, but conversely, a lot more wood collected for Skull, as well as about 3,000 more gold.